From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just going out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go upstairs.
Well, I was born right from the devil's head. He said, well, I ain't never gonna be lonely again. I need me a partner, and I'll need her in red to be the finest thing you see, and I'll be the only thing she believes. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be your girl. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too. Do the devil's work and I'll do it for free. As long as you can always love a girl like me. Call me sin and I've been waiting for you to. Tempting desire, so it's just a brush of fire. Well, don't be scared. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be all yours. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be losing me too. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too.
All right, that was Megan Casey, Girl Named Sin. This is DJ Psycho Eddie. You're listening to MyNightOut Radio, only on RI Free Radio, basically because no one else will have us. Thank you for tuning in. In studio tonight, we have a great show. We have Mr. Tony Jones making me sound oh so sexy.
The sweet, sweet sounds of DJ Psycho Eddie here on Rhode Island Free Radio.
But wait, there's more.
Full house.
That's right. We have a full house. We have Mike Worm. He's here to promote a show coming up in, what, about
couple nights,
days?
Yeah,
next week. The Sheckies are in town along with Tony Jones, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Also, we have Megan Casey, the one you just heard. She's going to be talking about going back into the studio. But first, I got to do my typical let's talk about food because I'm a fat guy thing.
You know, speaking of food and the upcoming show, the Sheckies, a band that makes us look thin.
You know, you have to admire that. for no other reason than anyone that can make me look thin, that's a beautiful thing. But starting off, I have to talk about Sora in Johnston. It's a place I've talked to quite a bit. It's the Korean barbecue. You cook your own food right there in front of you, or if you're lazy like me, you just wait for the waitress or whatever. They come over, they see you're lazy, and they'll do it for you.
Damn.
I can't even tell you how many chickens and cows and whatever died on that grill the other day, but it was so good. Have you guys had Korean barbecue? Cooking.
No.
You got to go. It's absolutely fabulous. As long as you get a good place, it's absolutely fabulous. And of course, kimchi and everything else. It's well worth it. And then I have a word of warning.
Oh no.
As you know, I go to restaurants, and I repeat myself when I find a restaurant that I like. Well, every now and then you have a restaurant that falls out of favor. It's not as good as it used to be. And well, I found that today, and I almost don't want to say the name, but I do want to say the name because it just. The first time I went, I am a complete sucker when it comes to brunch.
Me too.
Wake up late, have eggs. Oh, wait, I can drink with this?
Mimosas, yep.
Oh, no, I was doing Bloody Marys this morning. And I got to say, the Bloody Marys were still very good. A lot of spice, the way I like them. A lot of vodka, the way I like them. However, the first time I went, they used to literally cover 2 rooms with the brunch buffet.
Damn.
And they would, the typical breakfast, eggs, sausage, ham, but they would also throw out prime rib. They would throw chicken piccata, some fish dish, some eggs Benedict. And I would just go crazy because I love all this stuff, and I have to have a little bit of everything. And by the time you're done, you're waddling out, half drunk, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, slowly, as time went on, this place would take one of the things off the menu, then another thing. And then I went today, and they literally, it's not even half the size it used to be. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. How much food do you really need on a Sunday to soak up the alcohol from Saturday? But it wasn't even that good anymore. You know what, Tony? I'm going to go against my better judgment. I'm going to throw it out there.
It was that bad, huh?
It was that bad. I have to give you the warning. Paragon on Thayer Street.
Okay.
Now, this used to be one of my go-to places for brunch, and now, after today, they will not see me again. Probably because my picture will be on the door and they won't let me in anymore. But I cannot bring myself to go there anymore just because of the last 2 or 3 times I've been there. It's gone downhill.
Now, was the term "you be here for an hour" used as you left the establishment?
No. I mean, I only had 2 plates, and even at that, it's all-you-can-eat buffet. There's no need to heap your plate because by the time you get to the last thing on the plate, it's cold, unless it's Danish and it's supposed to be cold, and by then it's warm. But just the discussion I heard from some of the people that were there, they were talking about putting more of the Danish and pastries out, and they're like, well, I just could go out of the basement and thaw it out.
Ugh.
Yeah. So morbid curiosity got the best of me.
Things you don't want to overhear at a restaurant.
Yeah, let me thaw out a Danish.
From the basement.
Let me pick the rat hair out of that for you.
And the best part is, it's like almost $20, $21 a person for thawed out pastry and eggs. I could do that at home for a lot cheaper, and I got a handle of Tito's. It's just waiting for I can do this at home.
You can pull into Dunkin' and get that.
Exactly. And with less rat hair, actually.
Slightly less.
We're splitting hairs. So that, those are the 2 announcements. I don't even say recommendations because I really cannot recommend Paragon at all anymore.
A non-recommendation.
Anti-recommendation. But Surrey and Johnston, I can't even think of the road it's on right now, but you can't miss it. It's a bright orange building, and they actually have karaoke rooms in the back, true to the form of, the Asian experience. You can eat yourself stupid with all the Korean barbecue, and then go sing karaoke with a bunch of people that are just waddling their way into
a bunch of Asian businessmen.
That's dangerous.
So, that being said, the other big thing, the reason we weren't here last week was Terracon. Now, I don't know about you, Tony, but I had a blast.
It was a great weekend. It was one of those weekends where there was no slow moment in the 2.5 days we were there.
Yeah, no, it was a very steady run, but it wasn't mod where like I could move around freely without having to like, oh, excuse me, pardon me. But
stepped on your kid.
Excuse me, sir. I think your kid is stuck under my shoe. No, I had a great time. I got to, the one fanboy moment I had was Sid Haig, and I actually got him to do the line from Devil's Reject. Excuse me, ma'am, I have important top secret clown business, which supersedes it, and he did that line, and I just. Total fanboy, geeked out on it. I got his autograph. That's going to be going up on the wall shortly. Again, all the paranormal people. Ken DaCosta, he was great. He actually invited us back down for Paracon this year, which I'm looking forward to not getting credit for that.
Which, by the way, if you missed any of our coverage, if you go to any of our social media accounts, the videos are all archived there. So if you want to check in on what we were up to last weekend, Eddie provided some great coverage, both in and out of clown gear. Now, there's a very special shout-out that I need to give here on this show for last weekend's Terracon, and that is to your wife, Debs, who kept us fed all weekend. I ate like a king.
Well, if you look at me, if you ever seen me at all, or even just listen to me, I'm not a small guy. And there's a reason for that. My wife does love to cook, and every time she cooks, she doesn't cook for just the two of us. If she's cooking for two, you got to make at least enough for 10, just in case the whole neighborhood stops by, which no one ever comes over to my house anyways.
Now, I get there at about 7:30 in the morning, and George Garner is tearing into calzones, and I realize that since he works third shift, that was supper for him at 7:30 in the morning.
My wife asked, what she wanted me to make, and she was ready to do all these fancy dishes. Look, we're going to be sitting at a table that we really can't put any food on because we don't want anyone sneezing, coughing, or spitting on it. So something you can use, wrap in foil or whatever, and just eat, out of your hand. And my wife came out with 4, 2 for each day, but 4 very unique calzones, and she made cookies. Oh. Because, we're not fat enough from the calzones and all the soda. We need a couple dozen cookies, which I made a lot of friends at the Sunday when we were cleaning up the last hour. I was just walking around giving cookies to people because I did not want to come home with cookies because then my wife would get offended that we didn't eat all the cookies.
Can't do that.
Nothing, better than a just clown walking around giving away free cookies.
And I do have to give a shout out for everyone who demanded that I come in clown gear because
the public has spoken.
It's one of those things.
They were down with the clown.
They were. I mean, people who are you? You can honestly see a difference. Like the first day, I was just in street gear, my glasses, a nice shirt, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing?" The clown was there. People were geeking out. They were having a great time. Joking around with people and. It's a very noticeable difference when I'm in character.
Kind of like the difference in the 2 days when we had Miss Rhode Island Free Radio at the table or 3 dudes at the table.
Well, we had 3 dudes at the table both days. Miss RI Free Radio definitely was the rose amongst the thorns.
She upped the factor of the table, that's for sure.
So I want to thank Brianna, and I will make sure she hears that. I will thank you very much for coming down, Brianna. She's expressed her interest in coming down to all the functions that we do, provided we can get her in. Stuff her under your jacket or something. We can get her in, no problem.
I'll sit on her shoulders.
Well, with that being said, why don't we cut to some more music, and then we will get to talking with Mike and Megan. We're going to leave here with a little bit of Adapter, and we'll be back in a minute.
pretty, oh so pretty. Sitting high on that big bar stool. You know I'm looking for a chance to, oh, make some time with you. You got the moves and the grooves to make my world turn upside down for you. Yes, you do. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. You know it's time to play your rock song. You waited all night long. You know she comes out to the dance floor. Baby starts to sing along. She starts to move and to groove. My baby, they're looking right down on you. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. Now you're caught right behind her. See her long, sweet legs. She's got the body all built to please, yeah. Right here in the USA, she loves to move and to groove. My baby is coming right down on you. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. It's the end of the night, I take my little baby home. Can't wait to be with her, my baby, all night long. Oh, then she starts to move and to groove. My baby, here's that tune you do. Yes, you do. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance. You know my baby, my little baby, loves to dance.
All right, my night outers. That was Blindside Thunder. My baby loves to dance. Before that was Adapter, Evil Woman. And as I stated when we first started off, we had Megan Casey in studio. She started off the show, Girl Named Sin. Megan, tell us a little bit about Girl Named Sin. Is this like a reflective upon yourself, or?
I mean, I guess you could say that. I'm actually, it's really lame when I go to, like, explain the song because I was an English major, and I actually based this off of Paradise Lost.
Okay.
So when the devil's talking about sin, he talks about how he, like, birthed this idea from his head. And I kind of took that in, like, a romantic sense and just kind of went from there. But it's a little reflective of myself, yeah.
Oh. and now you've got some things in the works right now that we were talking about off the air. Do you want to let everyone know what's going on?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm going into the studio for my full length finally. Within this month, I'm hoping to have a big release for June, but I'm going to keep it under wraps for now. But yeah, I'm excited to go back in the studio and kind of work on more current stuff.
And for those of you who don't remember, Megan and Mike were in studio last August, June, August.
Yeah, I think
Somewhere
August.
there.
Yeah,
It was warm. That's all I can
Yeah.
really remember. We were drinking. It was fun.
nicer
It was
than
a
now.
different season.
Yeah.
We didn't have 4 jackets on to get into the building, but they came in, and that's when she dropped her EP, and that song came off of. And now, Mike, yeah, we're jumping back and forth really quick here because I got a lot of music tonight, but I do want to get everyone involved here. You got a show coming up next week.
Yeah, this Tuesday at dusk.
Now, I hear you're starting off with the cream of the crop, and you're only getting better.
Tony Jones and the Cretan 3.
Well,
On
besides
to the
them,
McGunks. Then we got the Sheckies, who are on tour from New Jersey. They'll probably be their 3rd day or 4th day on tour, coming from New Jersey with their new album, Going on a Diet Again. They'll play in, and the Nymphadels are closing down the house Tuesday night at dusk, 8 p.m. 18 plus, $7.
$7 to get in, and if you're old like me, you're probably only going to catch Tony Jones because Matlock comes on at 8:30, 8:45.
Oh, yeah.
Murder, She Wrote, and then bedtime.
The Golden Girls.
Well, if we talk about the Golden Girls, Claire passed away not that long ago. Betty White's the only one left, I think.
I don't think she'll ever die.
Oh no, she
She might be on Keith Richards status.
She's like she is a tough old bird, man. So now I got to ask, how did you even manage to get Sheckies onto the bill?
They asked me.
They asked you.
No, they hooked us up a couple of years back on tour, so kind of returning the favor for them.
So when they hooked you up, you're referring to your band, the
My
Worms.
band, Worm, yep. We went on tour 2 summers ago. They hooked us up in New Jersey and Ohio, and they've hooked us up with shows before that they didn't play. They just sent me in the right direction, so
Oh, cool.
kind of helping them out on their tour this time around.
So can you get any background on the on the bands that are playing? Have you worked with all these bands before, or?
Nymphadels are new. I think I've done a couple of shows with the McGunks before. I've known Tony for a while. Done a show with him, I think, back in the day, maybe. And
Back before we had gray hair.
yeah,
Back in my day, because Pepperidge
And the
Farm
Sheckies.
remembers. So we actually got a few more good shows coming up in the upcoming weeks, which I'll talk about probably a little bit later on in the show. Aside from the Shecky show, what else do you have in the works? What else you coming up with, or are you just...
I'm starting to book some shows for the spring now. Nothing solid yet, but working towards it.
and what area? You're going to stay Rhode Island, Mass, or you going to try to go on tour?
Probably, I'd like to go on tour again, but that's not up to me. That's up to the other band members.
All right. Well, why don't we cut to some music? I'll figure out, because as everyone knows, I am so prepared. I was going through Facebook right before we started chatting to figure out what I was going to talk about. But I can make myself sound so professional, but I'm letting you take a little peek behind the curtain right now. We're going to leave here with a band that is actually going to be on that bill. Yeah, McGunks, right?
McGunks.
Hey, wow, I did some research. Go figure. The name of the song is Halfway to Hell. It's the McGunks. You're listening to My Night Out Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
Around we go.
All right, my Nightos, that was Kilgore. The name of that song was Senorita Beefeater. Before that, we had 30 Silver, Sinister Man Have At Thee. And we started off that three-play with the Magunks, Halfway to Hell. Now, I'm going to flash back a little bit to our Terracon experience. And, you know, whenever we're at a convention or whatever, we put up a sign that says, you know, if you're interested, we'll help you, we'll show you, we'll get you started, we'll help you produce a show. And we never really put rubber to the road until, well, I gotta thank George for this one. Mr. George Gorner actually started inviting people down to the studio. Now, you know, if anyone's listening and is interested in coming down to the studio and checking out what we do, how we do it, and who knows, maybe even getting starting your own show, you might want to hit us up, MyNightOutRadio@Verizon.net. I can get you in touch with the management, a.k.a. Mr. Tony Jones.
I'm not only the CEO, I'm also the janitor.
and you know, it's one of those things that you say that and people think you're joking. But, you know, today when I came in, he was taking out the garbage. Yeah. Which we thank you so much for that, Tony. Also, MyNightOutRI.com for all your upcoming events. If you want to do some promotions with us, you might want to hit us up again, MyNightOutRadio@Verizon.net. Look us up on Facebook, /MyNightOut. Twitter and Instagram, DJ Psyco Eddie, and you can get me directly. Also, MyNightOutRI, and it'll filter through to me. I can't thank you guys enough for coming down. You know, I always have a blast.
Thank you.
I like talking about the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do talk a little bit excessively about food around here. Well,
There's nothing wrong with that.
oh, hell no. But now the listeners heard the pop of a can. And we got to tell them what kind of a can, because normally it's me opening a bottle or a can, and I'm like, well, I'm going to enjoy a beverage. What can did you just open up?
Miller High Life. I'll be living the low life in the morning.
Hey, champagne of beers.
Well, that's how you could tell we're on internet radio, not terrestrial radio, AM, FM. Because, because if you did that, that would be an FCC fine. No FCC here. Yet.
They haven't been able to censor the internet yet.
They're working on it, though.
trying.
They're working on it.
They are trying.
Remember when the
like
Nymphadels showed up with a bottle of cheap champagne a couple months back?
Yeah. And we have like 2 or 3 more in the fridge. So, getting moving forward from here. Megan, you have any shows coming up that you're planning?
I do. I'm actually really excited. I have a Firehouse 13 show on the 16th. So to kick off your St. Paddy's Day weekend, it'll be upstairs at 7. I'm playing with Rick Ferry and Frankie Ranks. And then following that downstairs, there's a great show with Tiger Manuel and a bunch of other bands. So Firehouse 13 always has a good ticket to a good time.
Firehouse 13 was home of, George Gorner's bachelor party.
That's
actually.
true. Yep.
So if the floor is sticky,
Oh, God.
that's why. It's only from fake blood.
Okay. Sure.
No, actually, I at George Gorner's bachelor party, I managed to catch one of the. I can't believe I'm going to say this, and it sounds very disgusting, but it's not as bad as it really.
Now, just remember, your mother could be listening to this.
Yeah, hi, Mom. How you doing? She's going to post something up on Facebook in a minute about this, anyways. But Wolfman Chuck had played, and it was he put on an awesome set, and at some point I'm guessing it was Wolfman Chuck because. Little plastic fetuses soaked in artificial blood started flying around the room.
Sounds about right.
Well, I had caught one. So I had this artificial blood on my hand. Well, as bachelor parties normally go, I ended up at a strip club later. And now...
That probably didn't go over too well.
I had been drinking, so I really didn't notice the artificial blood stain on my hand. I did not have the fetus with me. I left that back.
Oh, good.
I didn't want to cause any flashbacks for anyone else. So as I'm walking in, the door guy, who is also the manager, is a good friend of mine, is like, "Look, Ed, if you're looking for an alibi, we'll give you one. But can you wash that off your hands?"
He was here all night, folks.
It's funny when you say it now, but at the time, it's like, oh crap, I'm drunk and there's blood on my hand. What did I do?
Could you imagine if anybody got pulled over on the way home for that from that show, just covered in fake blood?
Well, if you remember, one of the performers from that evening, Casey Asali, she got locked out of her car.
That's right, yeah.
And she was, to say the least, borderline on half naked.
Yeah.
On a side street in Providence after hours.
Covered in fake blood.
And not slinging drugs.
And not wearing any shoes.
Yes.
It's like an SVU episode waiting to happen.
And I think that was the first time she had a nip slip in any of her performances. Yeah. And the best part was her mom was in the audience.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, her mom was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Only in Providence can this stuff happen, and we could talk about it jokingly now, but I know there's people somewhere listening to this saying, "Holy crap, we're listening to Satanists." We don't follow him. We're just good friends. That's all. Well, I did promise you upcoming events, and I have two really big upcoming events that I have to tell everyone about. First one, March 18th, at Borowski's Cafe in beautiful West Warwick, the legendary, the Hall of Fame inducted Neutral Nation will be playing a free show at Borowski's. March 18th, doors are at 11 a.m. Music starts at 12.
Doors are when?
11 a.m.
That's early, man.
Oh, that's insane.
You cannot drink all day unless you start early. And I know for a fact there will be a few people pre-gaming that show.
Now, I know, DJ Psycho Eddie, that you're now an Uber driver.
Yes.
We could probably make a few bucks by also turning this space into an Airbnb for anybody that needs to sleep it off after leaving Borowski's. You could drive them right over here. We could put them to bed, and they could leave in the morning.
Not enough mop, bucket, or squeegees to clean the amount of puke and other stuff that's going to come flying out. No. If you want to be the janitorial staff on the day after that, you go right ahead. I don't want anything to do with that. But also, in addition to Neutral Nation, we have the Trans Fats, a reunion for the Trans Fats. Held Hostage, Sex Orgy Death Crash, and Sons of Frankenstein. And it has been rumored Bad Blood will be also making an appearance. Now, that's March 18th. March 25th, I'm doing... the Tattoo and Music Festival
nice.
at FET. Now, this is the third incarnation. there's like 20 some odd bands, and I'm going to run through them as quickly as I can. You ready? See if I can do it all in one breath.
Let's go.
Ready. Productive Member, Young Other, Fate's Last Fight, Mirror's Embrace, Hemlock, Potsy, Woodchipper Demise, Another One Down, Fathom Farewell, Apollo's Resurrection, 6 Foot Silence, Firstborn. That's only on the lounge stage. In the main ballroom, you're going to have Beast of Nod, Ashes of Agony, Depraved Within, Travel Amadalia, Barbarian, Kingsman, Shred of Salvation, Death Rattle, Bloodline Theory, Blood Riders, Revocation, and Bury Your Dead.
Bury Your Dead.
Holy cow.
Did that with one breath.
Is that a Sunday, like an afternoon show? Or
That is a full day show. Doors are at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Damn.
And it's going till like 1, 2 in the morning.
until they sell out of hot wieners.
Actually, there will also be a brackish fetish show going on in between the bands. There will be Dr. Finnegan's Sideshow Circus will be emceeing and performing stunts.
Any burlesque?
What part of brackish fetish did you not get? They will be definitely strutting their stuff. Now, this is a tattoo and music festival. So we're going to have Suited Devils. One of the sponsors. There's going to be 5 others. You got Suited Devil, Irish Rose, Heavy Mental Tattoo, Great Island Tattoo, and Dharma Ink Tattoo. Will be doing tattoos and piercings on site. Tickets you can get through the Fat Box office or any of the bands that I mentioned. You may want to play that back at a slower speed so you can understand some of the ones. But I will be DJing the main ballroom that night. And I'm going to be busting out some songs that I haven't played in quite a while and some new stuff that I've never played before.
And if you're really getting into the day, you can wander across the street to Shelter and play classic pinball games in between bands.
It's not even across the street. If you cut through the ballroom
Yeah.
at FET, you end up at Shelter.
What a great, how can you beat FET, a club with classic arcade games, and Oneyville System hot wieners?
I mean,
I would never have to leave that neighborhood.
I'm actually thinking about parking permanently in the parking lot over there.
Cone off a spot for yourself.
Now, if you're going to get there, please get there early. The parking is extremely limited. My battle wagon will definitely be valeted that night because it's just too big to leave it on the street. It'll be plugging everything up.
Plus, junkies will be living in it by the end of the night. This place is sweet.
Well, why don't we cut to a couple of bands that have actually played the Borowski's show in previous years. The first one we're going to leave here with is The Frenzy of Tongues.
Yes.
The name of the song is Kyle. We'll be back in a minute. Kyle.
He loves drinking all the time, drinking till he's deaf and blind, thinking like a pickled monk. Budweiser and Miller too, any type of booze will do. Boxing gold, more tried and true, most of all that Guinness brew. Kyle can't keep on drinking when you're drinking, don't know he's thinking if he had his own way, he'd be drunk every night and day. Get so drunk he explore, get back up and drink some more, drinks as fast as you can pour, his life must be a real chore. Kyle can't keep on drinking when he gets drunk, don't know he's thinking with that we can change his mind, so he's not drinking all the time. Drinking. Drunk. We stand our ground whenever troubles arise. We will rise. We will rise. front lines. We will. We will. We will rise. I stand by you if you stand by me. Forever at the front lines. We will rise. We will rise. We will rise. We will rise.
I'm waiting for the finger. There we go. There's the finger.
That's what she said.
And you have a very large and attractive finger, might I add. That was Held Hostage, We Will Rise. Before that, Frenzy of Tongues. The name of the song was Kyle. Two awesome bands that I stumbled upon.
Literally.
Stress on the word stumbled. At the Borowski's St. Patrick's Day matinee, March 18th. It's going to be this year. You want to check that out. Just a quick recap, Megan.
Yes.
If we wanted to hear more from you, how would we do this?
Well, I actually just put up a SoundCloud, which was a big thing for a person that partakes in the finer things in life. But soundcloud.com/MEAG Boston. You can also find me at Facebook, MEAG Boston Music. And yeah, come follow the fun.
Cool. And now, Mike, if someone wanted to follow you, you're on Facebook, right?
Yeah, Facebook.com/Reckless Records with a W for the rec, a W for the
For records.
records, and a C for the chords.
Make it easier. Why don't we just put up a link on my site? So they can
Yeah, that's probably easier too.
Yeah, we'll be putting up a link on.
You can find me on Facebook at Mike Worm with 2 Ks.
And you, if someone wanted to follow the Worm, is it Worm or the Worms?
Worm is on Facebook. Bad Movies is on Facebook. My newest band, The Mother Boys, is on Facebook. MySpace, Reverb Nation, Bandcamp,
Wow,
punkrockers.com.
you're spreading out worse than herpes, man.
Yeah.
And of course, this is DJ Psyco Eddie. You can get me MyNightOut Radio at Verizon.net for if you want to get in touch with me. If you want to submit some music, if you want to just come on the air, just check it out, sit in the background, and just watch us, see us do what we do.
Or if you need a ride.
Yeah, that's true. I am an Uber driver. I'm actually working on trying to get a few other Uber drivers because, I mean, I could talk till I'm blue in the face and, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I want to get a couple of drivers that have been doing it for a while. I think I'm going to, put my reach out, see if I can get anyone in here to talk about some very unique.
Yeah, I want to hear the horror stories.
Yeah, me
like
too.
the ride from hell where they 14 people puked in a little suburban.
I want to hear of more stories about stuff that's been offered up for tips, too.
Being a married man, I cannot talk about that personally. But thank you for listening, everybody. We're going to leave here with Brunt of It first, and then some Shed. First off, Brunt of It, the name of the song, Manic Depression, and then Shed, Watermark. Thank you for listening, everybody. Have a good night.